أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to another G4 recitation class. I am your teacher for today, and as always I will be assisted by the teacher assistant and the support teacher, inshallah. And before we begin, please ensure that you have logged in with your correct ID so that it's easy for the admin team to record your attendance, and that your camera and microphone is off. And one more thing, if for any reason you missed a class and you would like to listen to the recording of that class, so the reminder email that you get sent for every class, in that email at the bottom, it is mentioned, there is a link, the YouTube link. If you click on that, then you can listen to the recordings of our lessons. It is specifically mentioned that it's G4 2025 classes recordings and also the 2024 and for other previous years. So if for any reason you have missed something or you would like to listen to the recording to the lesson again, you can access the recordings using those links in the email. Jazakallah. So let us now begin with the tilawat. If I could request the support teacher to unmute a student for tilawat, please.
Can I please request G4830 to please unmute your G4830.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. You could start from Fawaz and Tasmiyah.
जी أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. Our Lord, pour forth upon us steadfastness and cause us to die resign unto thee. Prayer of magician who believed in Prophet Musa alayhi salam.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Now we have the hadith. If I could request the support teacher to unmute a student.
Can I please request student G4882 to please unmute your mic?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
The rules or
Yes, on the right, if you could start with the Durood Sharif and then the Arabic on
okay.
the right and left.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidum Majid. Yeah. عن ابن عباس قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الذي ليس في جوفه شيء من القرآن كالبيت الخراب. Hazrat Ibn Abbas narrates that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "Indeed, the one who does not have any portion of Quran inside his heart is like the abandoned house."
Jazakallah. There was just a few points to notice. It's Jofi, not Jufi. I think you read Jufi. And this is Kharibi over here. Jazakallah. Now we have the malfuzat. If I could request for a student.
Can I please request G4894 to please unmute your mic?
G4894.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay. Malfuzat Hazrat Masih Maud Salam, an essential teaching for you is that you should not abandon the Holy Quran like a thing forsaken, for therein lies your life. Those who honor the Quran will be honored in heaven. Those who give precedence to the Quran over every hadith and every other saying will be given precedence in heaven. Today, there is no book on the face of the earth for mankind except for the Quran. The sons of Adam have no messenger and intercessor of but Muhammad, the chosen one. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Now we will move on to the quiz segment. I will request the teaching assistant to conduct the quiz.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So now we will start our Quran quiz with question number 1. That is, what is the main objective of man's creation according to the Holy Quran? There are 4 options for you. A, righteous deeds. B, gaining knowledge. C, worship of Allah. And option D is helping God's creation. Esti, can we have an ID to answer?
Can I please request G4871 to please?
G4871. G4871. Okay, Esti, could you unmute someone else?
Can I please request G4872 to please unmute your mic?
G4872. Assalamu alaikum. G4872. We can hear you. Okay. Let me unmute G4887. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. The
Yes.
answer of this question is worship of Allah. Option number C.
Jazakumullah, well done. Your answer is correct. So, main objective of man's creation, according to the Holy Quran, is to worship Allah. Well done, G4887. Next question. Which Arabic letter is used as a sign for ruku in the Holy Quran? When a Holy Quran is divided in sections, which sign Arabic letter is used? A, Ta, B, Ain, option C, Meen, and option D is Jim. Esti, could you please unmute an ID?
Can I please request G4785 to please unmute your mic?
G4785. Assalamu alaikum.
Ji, walaikum assalam. I think it's a B, Ain.
Well done, Jazakumullah, and your answer is correct. So, Ain is marked as a section sign in the Holy Quran. Good. Jazakumullah. Next question. When is a letter called a maksur letter? Options are A, when it carries madda. B, when it carries fatha. C, when it carries sukun. And option D, when it carries kasra. Esti, please unmute someone to answer.
Can I please request G4834 to please unmute your mic?
G4834.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. So, what is the correct answer in your opinion?
Is it D when it carries a kasra?
Well done, Jazakumullah. So, a
Jazakallah.
letter bearing a kasra is called a maksur letter. Well done, G4834.
Jazakallah.
Next question. If a believer's wife dies, leaving children and husband behind, What share of inheritance will her husband receive? According to Holy Quran, is it option A, 25%, option B, 50%, C, 75%, or D, 100% of her inheritance? SD, we need an ID for the answer.
Can I please request G4879 to please unmute your mic?
G4,
Is it
879.
25%?
Say again, please.
25%.
Jazakumullah. And your answer is correct. So the husband receives 25% of his wife's inheritance after her death. Well done, Jazakillah. And last question of our quiz is, during which postures of Salat is the recitation of the Holy Quran prohibited? D, is it during Qada? Qada means when we sit during the prayers and say At-Tahiyat and Sajda. B, during Qiyam and Ruku. C, during Ruku and Sajda. And option D is during Qiyam and Sajda. ST, we need one last ID for our quiz.
Can I please request G4861 to please unmute your mic?
G4861. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, which option you are going to choose to answer?
During Qiyam and Sajda.
During Qiyam and Sajda. Your answer is not correct, half correct, I should say. And the correct answer is during Ruku and Sajda. It is prohibited to recite any portion of the Holy Quran during Salat. Okay, Jazakumullah. You tried well, mashallah. And this concludes our today's Quran quiz. So let's go back to our DT. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah TA for conducting the quiz. Before we begin today's lesson, the rules, I'll quickly go through the sign-in process again, because sometimes there are IDs with their incorrect name, so it's hard for us to mark the attendance. So when you join the meeting, make sure that you have entered your correct ID, and then you have to tick this box, do not connect to audio. Make sure it's not ticked do not connect to audio, and turn off the video is ticked. And then once you've joined, you have to enter the password, and then you are in the waiting area. And lastly, when you can also check again if your ID is correct by clicking on the participants and your name appears at the top. And if your ID is incorrect, you can also unmute from there. If you hover the mouse next to your name, there's unmute option and the rename option. So if you click on the rename, and then you can change your ID from there as well. So that was the quick sign in. And again, this is the where you can access all the videos of our classes. Jazakallah. So let us now begin the lesson. Today, inshallah, we will be learning about the Tajweed rules of soft elongation, exchange of strokes, and the rule of wasl. Right. Starting with the soft elongation first. They are the letters, or they are the huruful leen. And the word leen means to ease or to soften. We have waw leen and ya leen, 2 letters, huruful leen. So the rule is that if waw and ya are sakin, they are strokeless. They're carrying jazm, as you can see in this example. Waw and ya are both sakin. And they are preceded by a consonant bearing the stroke of fatha. So before waw sakin or before ya sakin, if the letter is bearing fatha, then it's they are the huruful leen. And the rule is that its sound will softly make a half circle for 2 seconds or 2 counts without a jerk. Likewise, in the second example, here is the waw leen because it's preceded by a letter carrying fatha. And we have Yalin because lam is carrying fatha. It will make half circle, hawlay, for 2 seconds without any jerk. Likewise, in this example, it's vowelin because the letter before that is carrying fatha. So this will be again Yalin, may. So it will make a half circle for 2 seconds or 2 counts. Moving on to the next slide. So we have to be very careful when we are reading reciting the Holy Quran that we are not mispronouncing any strokes. As we mentioned in our first class as well, that you have to be extremely careful with the strokes because otherwise this can cause major errors. So the error was that to not replace a stroke with another stroke. If it's a fatha, not replacing it with kasra or dhamma, because this can lead to a different meaning. And as you can see in the first example, an'amta means you blessed. And if you change the stroke of fatha on ta to dhamma on ta by mistake, then this completely changes the meaning. It means I blessed, an'amtu. Likewise, the second example, al-birru means the piety, and al-barru, it's the dry land. So one mispronunciation of stroke causes a change in the meaning. Likewise, another error that we mentioned in our first class is to not change a sakin letter into a mutaharrik stroke. So mutaharrik means any letter carrying fatha, kasra or dhamma, carrying a stroke. Whereas a sakin letter is the one carrying jazm. As you can see here, qaf is a sakin letter. Whereas kha, la and na are mutaharrik because they're carrying a stroke. So we have to be careful because on qaf, it's a sakin letter. And if we mispronounce it and change the sakin into mutaharrik, khalaqana, again, this leads to different meaning. So we have to be extremely careful with these. Next, we have the rule of wasl. Wasl means to connect or to link. And there are many Quranic words which either start or end with blank letters. And those blank letters are dropped while connecting two words, but maintained when read alone. So let's take a look at two types. On the right, it says blank letters between mutaharrik and mushaddad. So what do we mean by blank letters? It's the one with no stroke. As you can see here, alif and another alif, they are blank letters. And noon is carrying, noon is a mutaharrik letter because it's carrying a stroke. And after the blank letters, we have la mushaddad. So the blank letters are placed between a mutaharrik and a mushaddad letter. So this means we don't have to prolong this na for 2 seconds. Rather, we need to combine it. We need to do wasl. Anallahu. We're ignoring any blank letters in between. We're just joining it with the next letter. Likewise here, there are, waw is blank letter, and then 2 alif, and then lam. They're all blank letters, no stroke on them. We ignore them completely. So we join this mutaharrik with the mushaddad letter. Amilus salihati, like this. Whereas the second type of wasl is when the blank letters are between mutaharrik and sakin letters. So again, the blank letters are these 2 alif, and it's placed between a mutaharrik because lam is carrying a fatha, it's a stroke, it's a mutaharrik letter, and the other lam is carrying a jazm, a sukoon, it's a sakin letter. So again, we need to ignore them and just join as normal. Qala alhamdu. Again here, alif is a blank, but we will ignore the alif and we'll join the mutaharrik with a sakin. Wad. And then again, we have blank letters here, so we'll ignore them as well. Wadkhulul baba, like this. So this is the rule of wasl. Moving on to the next one. Now we can have a few students for practice. Esti, if I could request to unmute a student.
Can I please request G4 G4855 to please unmute your mic.
G4855.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. If you could read the first line for me after Tabuz and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم لو حوله لسوف الموت.
Jazakallah. And one thing I want to mention in the Tasmiyah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. If you could read that again.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
That was better, mashallah, because first, initially you rounded lam, whereas it's meant to be thin lam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And could you tell me what rule is applied here when you're making a half circle sound? Yaw.
يوم is her.
It's one of the rules that we covered today. So it's a waw sakin, and before waw sakin, it's a ya carrying a fatha. So what is this called? Can you remember?
No, I can't.
Okay, so it's the
sorry, huruf al-lin, isn't it?
yes, that's right. Well done. So it's the wawlin.
Wow.
They all vowelin, as you can see in the first line. They're all examples of vowelin. So it will make a half circle sound for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Jazakallah for coming on the mic.
Jazakallah.
And ST, can I have another student on mic?
Can I please request G4890 to please unmute your mic?
G4890.
No response. Can I please request G4861 to please unmute your mic?
G4861.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. If you could read the second line for me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك الكتاب. Should I?
Yes, please.
هم المفلحون فاتقوا النار.
Jazakallah. Could you tell me the rule that is applied over here?
Exchange of strokes.
Which one is exchange of stroke here?
Um,
Is there any stroke being changed?
Lam.
So lam is carrying jazm. We're not changing this lam in any way, but rather we are joining kaf with lam, right?
Okay.
Good. So what is the rule that we just covered today? What about this alif? It's a blank letter, right?
Yes. It's a blank letter.
So then what is the rule here?
The combining one? The
Yes.
combining and connect one. Yes. Just
The
spell out
wasl,
matlab.
right?
Yes.
Wasl.
Yes.
And
wasl.
what about this one over here?
Yes. So we will ignore alif and
Yeah.
we'll continue. Zalikal kitabu. Yes. Okay. And humul muflihun, we will again ignore alif.
Yeah, because this
And-
blank, yeah.
And meme will connect with lam. Humul muflihun.
Yeah. So here we're connecting meme, a mutaharrik and a sakin. So the blank letter is between a mutaharrik and a sakin letter.
Okay.
How about this one over here?
Again, double alif.
And this time the blank letters are between which one? It's between
Wow. It's between la. It's before lam. So we will ignore lam as well.
Yeah, so this means alif, alif, lam. The three
Alif, lam.
letters are
Yes, we will
blank.
ignore all these three. Fattaqun nar.
So they are between a mutaharrik and a mushaddad letter this time.
Mutaharrik and mushaddad. Okay.
Yeah, because noon is a shadda, carrying shadda. So it's a
Okay.
mushaddad letter. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. We will now move on to the surah practice. So I'll hand the mic over to the TA for surah practice.
Jazakumullah DT. So let me share my screen. Hope you can see the screen now. So A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Before we start the Holy Quran practice, I would like to remind those without a correct ID to rename yourself with your correct ID. Also, we have opened the breakout rooms. So there are dedicated teachers over there. So if you have received a link, a notification to join a room, please click on it and please join those rooms. So now let us start. In the last practice session, we ended with the question about the difference between shadda on all letters and the shadda we apply upon noon and meme. So why is there a difference? So the difference is because we apply the rule of gunna on meme and noon mushaddad, because meme and noon are nasal sounds, and they emit a resonating sound from the nose. So for the beautification when reciting, you have to hold that nasal sound for 2 seconds. And this is the role of ghunna. So over here, you can see the example. So this have been covered in the lesson 2. So a mushaddad letter means there is doubling of consonants. So it is actually in and na. So on that in, you have to hold that nasal sound for 2 seconds. This is the rule of ghunna, and you will recite it as inna. And on other letters, for example, over here, you can see the lam mushaddad. You don't have to hold any sound. So the shadda will only be there for 1 second. So this is illa, illa. So on the lam, only 1 second of the stressing would be there, because it is followed by an alif. It is prolonged for 2 seconds. Okay, so I hope everyone understood about it. If you missed any class, you can go back, and all the lessons are recorded on YouTube. And with that, I would like to request Estate to unmute a student for the practice. Jazakallah.
Can I request ID G4835 to come on the mic, please?
G4835, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. So in today's class, we are going to start from here, verse 16. So can you start after Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون.
Jazakumullah, you recited well. So there are a few things which you can improve as well, but you did quite good, mashallah. So first, let me ask you a few questions, if that's okay. So can you tell me what rule you have applied over here?
This is this wasl. I prolonged the lu for 2 seconds because of the wow.
Yeah, you did the correct thing. You said you were prolonged for 2 seconds, but the rule, do you remember what it was?
Is that The linking wasl, is that wasl? To connect them.
Actually, you're not connecting over here. So this rule is of vav madda or vav of elongation, right? Because there is a vav sakin and the letter preceding it is a letter carrying a dhamma or a madmum letter. So you will prolong for 2 seconds. You did it right. You said it right, but the rule name is vav
Wow, sakin.
madda.
Wow,
Rule
mad,
vav
okay.
madda. Yes, vav of elongation as well. And okay, can you tell me what rule you applied over here?
Anzal al-Rahman. This one is the linking one. I have to ignore this blank alif and the first lam to be joined with the ra.
Excellent, that's correct. Can you please read this word once again?
Batharum misluna.
Actually, the letter over here is sheen. So basharun.
Basharum misluna.
Okay, well done. And how can you connect these two?
Rum misluna.
Very well done. So you did it correctly. Do you know what rule you applied?
The meme has a musadda and the ra.
Mhm.
The ra has a double sign. I forgot the name for it.
Tanween. Yeah.
A tanwin it's a tanwin letter, so I have to, because of the meme with the mushaddad, I have to join them two together.
Mhm. And you make a nasal sound as well, a prolonged nasal sound.
Nasalization, yes.
So the rule of the name, the name of the rule is idgham. We'll learn
Is
about
that idgham al-nakis or idgham al-kamil?
idgham in nakis. You did it right. Mashallah. And over here, so as you can see, there is a sign.
Alam.
Yeah. This is called as a waqf mamnu. Okay. Okay. So over here, if you can see, there is a waqf sign. This is called waqf mamnu, and you should avoid stopping over there. Okay. This is because the words of Allah is connected. From Surah Fatiha to Surah An-Nas, it is all connected, right? So the reason why this waqf here is written is because if you stop over here, it usually will lead to a change in the meaning of the verse, because the next verse is, the next words are connected to this. So try to avoid stop over there. But if you're stopping, like when you're coughing or if you're short of breath, please start from here. You did it right, very well, mashallah. But when you didn't stop here, you stopped over here, and then you started from the next word, from the sign of yeah. So you shouldn't do that as well.
Okay.
You didn't start from here, min shay'in, and then continue. Okay.
1 second. So I didn't stop at the Hamza here before the lam. I carried on to in antum. Yeah. So you saying I shouldn't go back to in antum. I should start from the min shay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is called a prohibited stop, and also it is not inappropriate to start from here as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to go back. But Jazakumullah, you did well. And can you tell me what rule will you apply over here?
There's a shadda here, so you have to press on the lam. Illa.
Excellent.
And then because of the blank alif, you prolong it too.
Yeah, because of the blank alif, you prolong. You don't join, okay?
Yeah.
Because the next letter is a fatha.
There is no joining here. This is a fatha on top of the ta.
Exactly. Well done. Okay, then mashallah, you did very well. Jazakumullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. And can I ask ST to unmute another student, please?
Can I ask IDG 4816? Could you please unmute yourself?
G4816. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. After Tawaz and Tasmiyah, can you please start from here?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين.
Jazakumullah, very well recited. Just over here, can you please recite Bismillah, Tasmiyah once again?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so over the ha, there is only kasra and there is no shadda. So you don't have to make a stress on the ha, okay? Ar-Rahim. Can you try once again?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So make sure you don't stop in between as well.
Sorry, I lost my breath.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that don't stress on the ha, okay?
Okay.
And over here, so how long will you prolong the stroke on mean?
One count.
One count. I think when you were reciting, it was a bit elongated. So make sure you don't do that. And can you tell me what rule will you apply over here?
حروف اللين.
Huruf-e-
Elongation.
Very good, mashallah. And how will you pronounce it?
Lay.
Lay for 2 seconds, a half circle sound, okay? Softly. I think you didn't prolong it for 2 seconds. And what is this rule called?
Vaw sakin. And
That
vaw madda.
Vaw madda. Very good. Why is it a vaw madda?
Because there's a ma on the letter before the vaw sakin.
Yeah, there is a dhamma on lam. So it is called a madmoom lam. Okay.
Okay.
And over here, make sure you prolong it for at least 4 seconds. Okay. This is a rule of mad. You will be learning about it in the coming classes, but make sure you do a 4-second rule over here. And can you tell me what rule will you apply over here?
Yeah, this is the wasl when you have to connect it and ignore the blank letters.
Yeah, and how did you identify you have to connect them?
And because the alif is blank and there's a lam sakin, so the shaddad letter, the lam shaddad has to connect with lam sakin.
Yes, excellent, mashallah. And can you just read from here over here?
Okay.
From il.
إلى البلاغ المبين.
Try once more.
إلى البلاغ المبين.
إلا البلاغ.
Oh, okay, sorry. إلى. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think first when you were reciting, you pronounced the sound for more than 2 seconds. So make sure you don't do that. For the stroke, short strokes, only for 1 second you have to pronounce them, okay? Other than that, it was good. Jazakallah. SD, can I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request ID G4834 to come on?
G4834, Assalamu alaikum. G4834. I
Hi,
think.
another ID?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. G4834.
Yes.
Okay, Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. So can you start with the Wazan Tasmiyah and read this verse, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا إنا طيرنا بكم لا إن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم ولا يمسنكم منا عذاب أليم.
Jazakumullah. So there were a few mistakes. So as we have told in the first classes, there are common errors where you mispronounce a stroke or you elongate a stroke for more than one second. Short strokes, make sure you do it only for 1 second.
Okay.
So while reciting, it's common that we make that mistake, to the flow of your recitation.
Yeah.
But you have to be very careful because it can change the meaning, right, of Kalamullah. So make sure you don't do that. So you have done that mistakes quite a lot. But if you practice more, inshallah, you will be able to do that correctly. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
So can you tell me what rule you apply over here on Qaf and Alif?
The Qaf and Alif.
Hmm?
Is it elongated for 2 seconds?
Yes, excellent. So that's Alif Madda.
Alif Madda.
The rule is known as Madda or elongation. So
Okay.
elongation of Alif. And over here, we will be covering this rule later, but you have to make sure you do it for at least 4 seconds, okay?
Okay.
The elongation. So,
Okay.
inna. Okay?
Okay.
And what rule you apply over here?
Stressing of the shadda.
Yes.
And a nasal sound.
Excellent. For how long will you make that nasal sound?
2 seconds.
Yeah. So can you please read this word once again?
Inna.
Excellent. It's much better. And okay, over here you can see the small gene, right? So what rule will you apply? What can you understand when you see that? Do you know?
Is it a waqf so you can stop?
So some waqfs it is permissible to stop, and for some it is not. So over here, as I said, the lam and alif shouldn't stop here, but this is permissible to stop. Okay, gene. So you can either permit, you either pause or you can continue. There's no problem. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if you pause over here, you can recite from the next word. You don't have to go back.
Okay.
Yeah. And can you read this word once again?
La illam.
Don't prolong the patha on la. So
La
la.
illam.
Yeah. La illam.
La illam.
So there is another rule over here. So you have to prolong this nasal sound for 2 seconds. Okay. So that's the rule of idgham. You will be learning about it later.
Okay.
Make sure you do a nasal sound for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Sorry. So here you don't do the nasal sound. Sorry. La illam. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. So here what you do is you completely ignore the noon sound and you just join this hamza with the lam. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I was lost now. And again over here, which rule will you apply?
Is that the lean?
Can you? Are you sure?
No.
So lean, it would have been a lean if the ha is carrying a fatha, but ha is
Oh,
carrying
okay.
a ha.
Is it madmoon?
Yeah, so
Okay.
ha is a madmoom letter, and this is a madda. So
Madda.
wow, madda, or in
Okay.
English, wow of elongation. So 2 seconds. You did recite it correctly, and I
Okay.
just want to make sure you remember the rules as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And which rule will you apply over here on the noon?
Stressing of the noon. With 2 seconds.
Yeah, and the gunna.
Gunna.
Yeah. So always noon mushaddad and mim mushaddad. Gunna would be there. So you have to make a strong a nasal sound for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Could you please read these two words again? You have to make sure you don't prolong the short strokes for more than 1 second. And the noon mushaddad gunna also has to be made. Only these two words, please.
Starting from la.
Yeah.
لنرجمنكم ولا يمسنا.
Okay, on noon mushaddad, there is only fatha. So lanarjumannakum. Okay. No, you don't have to make it as a noun.
لنرجمن.
Mannakum.
منكم.
Excellent. And walayamassannakum.
ولا ميسنكم.
Yeah. La, ya, ma, only for 1 second. Then sa, there is a shadda, so stress. And noon, 2 second gunna. So all these for 1 second and only the noon shadda for 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
Practice them, inshallah. And other than that, as it was fine. Jazakumullah.
Takallum.
And can I ask Steve to unmute another student, please? ST, can we have another student, please?
Sorry, can I ask ID G479 to come on the mic, please?
G479. Sorry, can you please repeat the ID?
Can I ask ID G479 to come on the mic, please? G4789.
4789. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, let's try another. Can I ask G48761 to come on the mic, please?
G4876. Assalamu alaikum.
67.
Oh, sorry. 867. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. This is G4867, right?
Yes, G4867.
Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. And after Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah, could you please start from here and recite this verse?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا دائركم مع
أَإِن ذُكِرْتُمْ بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ.
Jazakumullah. That's a melodious voice, mashallah. And which role will you apply over here?
Sorry, could you repeat that again, please?
So can you tell me the rule that you will be applying over here on the waw sakin?
Or would it be the wow lean?
Can you?
Or
Huh? So how will you do it?
would I prolong it for 2 seconds?
Huh? So can
Sorry?
you read it once again? Can you read it once again?
Yes. Where should I read up to? Just that.
Just
Okay.
the one.
Kalu.
Excellent. So you did it right now. So before you didn't prolong the wow madda for 2 seconds. Okay. So here
Okay.
there are two madda. There is alif madda here because a blank alif preceded by a letter carrying fatha or a maftuh letter and a waw madda, right?
Yes.
Okay, jazakallah. And can you tell me, so over here, you have to make a nasal sound, okay? Because you're joining these two. And when you join these two letters, there is the rule of idgham. So you have to make a nasal sound for 2 seconds, okay? طائركم معكم. Can you try that?
Okay. Ta'irukum ma'akum.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the specialty of this letter?
It has a fatha on it, and it's a
Yeah, that's a maftuh letter. But
yeah.
the letter to, it's a thick letter, okay? The
Yes.
letter. So you have to make a thick and broad sound on to, okay? To.
Da.
Excellent. That's good. And so this to you see over here, you did stop very well, mashallah. So you have, that's a proposed stop, and you can stop over there. And can you tell me what role will you apply on the calf?
Would we would it be because it's a shadda on the calf, so it would be a 2-second prolongation, the word.
Yeah, you don't have to do a 2-second prolongation. You don't. You do it only for 1 second. Just there will be a stressing. Okay.
Okay.
Jazakallah for coming to the mic.
Jazakallah.
So can I have a last student on the mic, please, ST?
Yes. Can I ask IDG 4872? Could you please unmute?
G4872. Assalamu alaikum. G4872.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you start after the awaz and tasmiyah?
My mic is not very good.
But I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم استبقوا المرسلين.
Next verse, please.
أتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون.
Jazakallah. So again, I would like to request you not to prolong on the short strokes for more than 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Yes, and here, over here, you have to do a 2-second rule. Okay.
قالوا قال.
Excellent. And don't exchange the strokes. Read it correctly, okay? And over here, so this is called a Hamzatul Wasl. This is a blank alif, right? So you are not joining with the previous letter, so you have to give a sign on this letter. So depending upon the next letter, you will be giving that sign. So here you'll be learning about this rule for just here. I'll be saying that the next letter is carrying a fatha, so alif will be taking a kasra. So this would be read as ittabi'u. Okay?
Which is it. Okay.
Yeah, ittabi'u, because the next letter is carrying a fatha. Okay? And again here you did prolong it for more than for 2 seconds. So just only for 1 second you have to do that. And here you have to make a nasal sound. Wahum muhtadun for 2 seconds. Okay?
وهم مهتدون
2 seconds. Wahum muhtadun.
وهم مهتدون.
Okay, Jazakumullah. So Jazakumullah everyone for joining in the practice session. So now I would like to give it back to the DT for the concluding session. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah to you. So let's quickly recap what we covered in our today's class. So we covered the soft elongation rule and the wasl rule. So just to remember that there are waw and ya are haruful leen. And if they're preceded by a consonant bearing a fatha, then it will softly make a half circle for 2 seconds or 2 counts without a jerk. And wasl means to connect or to link. They are the blank letters, and we just combine the mushaddad letter, mutaharrik with the mushaddad letter, or mutaharrik with a sakin letter, and ignore the blank letters in between. Let's lastly move on to the concluding prayer. If I could request the support teacher to unmute a student.
Can I ask ID G4861 to come on the mic, please?
G4861. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Could you start from the top?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني عبدك وابن عبدك وابن أمتك ناصيتي بيدك ماضٍ فيا حكمك عدل فيا قضاؤك أسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي ونور صدري وجلاء حزني وذهاب همي. Translation. O Allah, I am your servant, the son of your servant, and the son of your maidservant. My forehead is in your hand. Your command concerning me prevails, and your decision concerning me is just. I call upon you by every one of the beautiful names with which you have described yourself, or which you have resolved in your book, or you have taught to any of your creatures, or which you have chosen to keep in the knowledge of the unseen with you, to make the Quran the delight of my soul, the light of my heart, and the source to remove my grief and sadness and dispel my anxiety and fear.
Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Jazakallah everyone for your participation. Inshallah, see you all in the next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.